everybody, this is Bonnie and I'm back with card number 3 for our Daisy Lane online workshop, and we are going to be making this fun, cool card that sits up like this. I just absolutely love it. There's not really a good way to show you, but I am going to do my best. Now, I have to let you know, I had to change up the colors, the background, so everything's kind of changed from this card because, one, I thought this was, when I wrote it down in my book as Just Jade. I ordered a package of Just Jade, and it was not Just Jade. It was Shaded Spruce, so I didn't have enough. So I had to use Old Olive. Well, Old Olive did not go with the background paper. So I ended up using colors from our Ornate bundle that we all did over the summer. I ended up using paper from there because it had a bunch of daisies in it, and it ended up working out just fine. If you bought the Flower for Everyday paper for this card, it will work. You'll just do it the same way. You're just going to switch it up from the paper that I used. So it's all going to work out the same. We're just going to have different base paper and different DSP paper. So let's get started. So we're going to set this right over here off to the side. I don't know if I won't be able to keep it in the camera at all times. So I just also want to let you know, on the card, I ended up using You Are My Sunshine for this. And that is in the Ridiculously Awesome stamp set that you can get. You did not have to order this to get into the card class. This is just something that I wanted to use. So if you don't have this set, use whatever you have, or order this set, put the greeting on later, or just use one of these stamp sets. I just felt these were too small for it, so I liked the bigger stamp set here. So, you know, I just really like this. I love this little stamp set, Let Your Faith Be Bigger Than Your Fears. And I'm just like, this would be awesome, you know, to send to somebody that might be struggling or not well or whatever right now. So I really like both of these sayings. I like them all, but these are two of my favorite. So let's get started. All right. I have to turn my page here from my notes. Okay. All right, so we have a base. You're going to get a base. When you get it, it's going to look like this. I'm not going to have them scored for you because I want some people to get used to using their scoreboards and scoring a little bit. So this month I didn't score. Not saying that I'm not going to do it every month, because I will still score, but some months I may not. So this was one of the months. So on here we have a piece that is an 11 by 4 1/4. So it's 4 1/4 by 11. And we're going to have to score it at 5 1/2. So put the end on the 5 1/2 inch mark. Now I'm left-handed, so my board is upside down. So we're going to score it at 5 1/2. Score right there. And then I like to pull it back this way. And did that score? I don't even know if my score thing fell out earlier. And I put it back in, but did I put it in right? I think I did. Okay, it did. All right. So now I did it at 5 1/2. Now I'm going to pull it back, and I'm going to score it at 2 3/4. So that's right here, and I'm going to score it. So if you're doing it left-handed, you would probably want to score the 2 3/4 first, then slide it over to the 5 1/2 if you're right-handed and you have it the right way. Okay? Okay. So now we're going to score our cards. So we got the score this way. So let's get this out of the way. Get my bone folder. And we're going to score there, and then we're going to score this one back. You guys have done these. This is like a little fun fold. I do this a lot for my card classes and my online classes, or live classes. Okay, so we have this base. Now we're going to bring in the DSP. This is the DSP I was telling you about, how it's going to be different. If you want to make more of these, I'm sure all of you that joined, all of you guys were in my ornate class, so you will have this paper. And you're just going to put some snail on the back of this. And we're going to put this piece right in here. And this is 4 in a quarter. Yeah, the piece is 5 1/4 by 4. That piece right there. This piece of DSP is 4 by 2 1/2. And this piece is going to go right here. Okay. And then I have another piece that is the same size that is 2 1/2 by 4 1/2. And I love this gold. I don't know if it's picking it up. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I haven't really used a lot of this paper, so actually I'm glad I get to use some up. And we're going to put this right here. And it blends so well, and it's so pretty on the paper. So now we've got this going on. So now it's time to make the basket. Okay. So we need to get our scorer back out. In your kit, you're going to have 2 pieces, a wood grain piece, and I had one sitting on top, but in case you don't, I'm going to give you the measurements. It's 2 inches by 6 1/2. So 2 inches by 6 1/2, and then the wood grain piece. On the 6 1/2 inch piece, you're going to put it in and you're going to score on each end at 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch on this end and 1/2 inch. I just like to flip it around. I mean, you could do but I'm not. And 1/2 inch on this end. Okay, so now we have that, and we're just going to push the scores back. So it's like this. Then the other score mark that we're going to score, so we did it at 1/2 inch, and then we're going to scoot all the way over to 4. So now, oops, I don't know if you could see this on my camera. Let's see. We pull it out a little bit there. Okay. Let me pull it out so you could see it for a minute. Okay. So I scored it 1/2 inch on both ends. Now I'm putting it back in, and I'm going to put it on 4. And I'm going to score again at 4. So you could score 1/2 inch, 4, and 6, but I just like to do 1/2 inch on each end. Okay? So now we have our score marks. Don't score this one quite yet. Alright, now I'm going to put you back in where you can see what I'm doing here. Alright, now we're going to take the wood grain piece, decide which one you like best, which up, down, whatever you want. Get your silicone mat, which, oh, here it is. I knew I had it right here. Get your silicone mat. Why do I? Okay. Put this down, and I want you to cover the whole thing on this mat. As much of this as you can. Cover the whole thing. Make sure you get right close to the edges and everything. Okay? So there we have that. Then we're going to bring this in, and from this 1/2 inch mark to this 1/2 inch mark, you're going to line this up. I can't see. I got to put my glasses on. My head might be in the way. And line it up, and it'll fit right on there. Now it's okay if that is a little off at the top, because we are going to do, you can trim that if you want, which I think I'm gonna, that's a little bit more than I want showing, but I did have a little showing right here. I have a little extra. I'm gonna trim that off, get my scissors, I'm just going to use my scissors for that little bit. Okay? But right here, I have a little bit too much. I don't know why. I might have not placed it perfectly on there. Down here had been okay, but it got bigger and bigger down there, and I really don't, see, I don't want that. So I'm going to put it back in my trimmer. This is just me being picky, guys. You do not have to do this if you do not. But I'm going to put it back in my trimmer, and I am just taking, I'm going to take a smidgen right off the top of that. See, I took a smidgen off it, which is fine. So there we have it. Now it is okay. It was okay before, but alrighty. So now we're going to get out our sponge, and we're going to need our Early Espresso sponge and our Early Espresso ink. And we're going to dab the edges of this. And this is why I said if you had a little bit showing, it wouldn't really matter because you're not going to see it. And then fold that white piece back and get the edges here too. Remember that piece that we scored, that 4-inch part we scored there? Now I want you to fold it. Kind of make sure you're lined up and give it a good fold. Give it a good crease. Like that. And then I want you to sponge it. So it's like that. Do you see our crate coming together? This is our crate now. We're getting it there. Okay? Okay. So now, this is probably the most trickiest part, and I don't even understand how to explain it. How to get it perfect. I guess when you look at this one, I'm going to guess here until, well, I'll measure it. Yeah, I'm going to measure it. It is in at 3/4 of an inch. So what you can do is put this down, put this at 3/4 of an inch from, I went right from that score line. 3/4 of an inch. Take a pencil and lightly draw a line right there at 3/4 of an inch. So now when you put this down, when we put the snail or whatever, you're going to have it right at the bottom, and have this right at the bottom because that's where I put that. Did I go past the DSP? I want to look, double check. Yep. Okay. So I went right at the bottom, and then you're going to line this piece up with the DSP. Okay? So that's the first thing we're going to do for this one. So let's get some, I think, because this is going to be opened and shut a lot, I really think I want to use some score tape. So I'm going to use some score tape on this. You don't have to. If you have a stronger adhesive, liquid glue would work perfectly fine probably, because that glue, and it might give you a little more wiggle room. By doing this, you don't, once you start putting it down, you don't really have much wiggle room with it. So really be careful if you do decide to use this. Just don't want to see anybody get this far and then ruin their project, because that would be very upsetting. Okay. So I got this like this, and then you're going to take this. I'm going to line, I see where my ruler is, lining this up. Let me zoom you guys in. Let me see if you guys can see a little better. My line, I don't know if you could see it, my line is right here, right there. I want this right at the edge. Not like over the edge, but right at the edge. You don't want it too far down, but right there. And then just line that up right with that right there. And then you've got your 1/4 of an inch. You're not going to see the pencil line. Okay, so now we're just going to fold that down. Now you're going to go ahead, we're going to do the same thing. And you're going to take, and see, I have little tick marks. I don't know if you could see on my original one. I put a little tick mark right there. And I have a little tick mark over here. Okay? So you're going to measure this over, and this is 2 inches from the edge. Oh, get me in the camera. 2 inches right here. Well, yeah, right at the 2-inch line to right there. So again, we're going to open this up, get everything out of the way. We're going to go and put the ruler right at the edge, right at the end of your thing. Line this up at 2 inches. So we got this right flat here. Am I in the camera? I just want to make sure I'm in the camera for you guys. I got this right flat here. I got this lined up right at 2. Take my pencil. You could put just a little tick mark for this. I'm going to do a whole line. I want you guys to see it. So put a line there. Now on this side, we're going to put some more of that score tape. So that's what I'm doing that you can't see right now. I'm just adding the score tape. Add whatever glue you want again. And then bring this over. Line up the edge of this to the edge of that, right to the bottom. So now we got that done. Now in your kit, there's also going to be a skinny piece like this. This piece measures, I got it written down. This piece measures 4.5 by 3/4. And on each end, we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. So we got to get our score out again. So let's move this out of the way. And I'm going to kind of do it right here just so you guys can see a little better, because I score way down here, but it's kind of, you don't want to do it this way if you don't want it to be crooked. So just kind of be careful. So we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Hold it down right there. And then I'm going to turn it. And I'm going to put 1/2 inch on this end. Like that. Oops. Hold it down, and I'm going to score. Okay? This is kind of like one of those pop-up cards that we've done in the past. Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing here now. So now we're going to score these in like this. Here I am going to use some liquid glue. I just think it might be easier. It gives me a little more time to play with it. What we are doing, if you could see down in here, we're putting a little thing across the center to hold some center flowers in our basket. So I am going down a little bit farther than the original. I'm putting this in. I'm trying to get it so I don't put the glue on it yet. I'm putting this in, and I'm going down to even. Did I even it with? Yes. I'm evening it up right with the piece that we put on, right with this piece. So I'm going to put it right here. And because I got liquid glue, I got to hold it for a second or two. Doesn't take too long. Just hold it there. Just doing that, I'm going to put a little glue on this side. And I'm just going to, this thing keeps sliding down. And then I'm going to put it on this side. I'll show you what I'm doing. It's hard to show you in the camera. I don't know. Can you see that? I put a little piece on each end. Like the score marks. This one's lined up right here with this 1/2 inch one. And then this one is lined up over here with this. Okay? We're not going to fold it or anything. We're going to leave it open for a little bit. I think I got a little stuff down there when it's sealed or whatever. So we're going to leave it like that and let it dry. So while that's drying and off to the side, I have got mine is all in a little bucket right here. I've got all these pieces. I'm going to get a kit so you guys can see. In the back of this in your kit, because I already punched mine out. In your kit, you're going to get 2 sheets of these, which will punch out 2 white flowers using the large punch. You're going to get 3 of these, which will each punch out 3, enough to do 3 flowers in the with the large punch. So these are in your kit, so you want to use them to punch your flowers. Because I'm not sure, I got thinking about it after I got them on here. I'm not sure how I really want to lay the flowers out now that I have some white ones on here. I'm going to show you what I did on here and then we'll go from there. So what I did was I took some Pop Dots and I think I'm going to do a white and a yellow in the back. I think that would be really pretty. So that's what we're going to do there. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put some Pop Dots on the backs of these. And I just put about 2. I'm going to put the yellow one down first. And I don't know if you could see, it's okay if it hangs off a little bit off the back. It looks kind of cute when it hangs over. It's like you got a basket full. And then we're going to put this one right about here. You just don't want them to go above your card. So you don't want them to go above this. You know, so that's how you want them. Then I'm going to put these, I think I'm going to put a white here. I think I want to put a white here. Yeah, and then I'm going to put the yellow in the front. Okay, so we're going to take these 2 and we're going to put them in there. And they're kind of overlapping a little bit, but you're going to put some dimensionals. But we're going to put the dimensionals at the bottom because that's where you want them to go so that they stick on that paper that's in there. And kind of lower it down a little ways so that it's not hiding too much of the ones in the back. Maybe you want one down, one up a little bit. You know, it's however you kind of want it here. I want to kind of like overlap them just a little, intertwine the leaves. I think that looks really cute, intertwining the petals. And now I got these up a little higher than I wanted them. So what you should do, if you have them up a little higher and you already stuck them like I did, dip your finger in, if you don't have an embossing buddy, dip your finger in some powder of some sort and then just put it on the back of this. This is an embossing buddy and it has powder in there, and what it does is it'll get rid of like when you emboss, but also it helps anything sticky. And no one's going to see it, and it got rid of that stickiness. So now when I go to close my card, it's not going to stick to whatever's in the back. Okay? So now we're going to put this one here. And this is where we're going to go ahead and cut off 2 petals. And I'm just going to cut off these 2 right here. Let me see. I didn't do them ahead of time because I never know which ones I want to cut. I want to cut off that one and that one. And I'm going to sit it so it's down here like this. Like right like that on the front of this. And did I pop that up? I did not. So this one I did not pop up, so we're just going to use some regular glue. And I would put it more towards the bottom petals because you don't want too far if you're going to have it sticking up a little. Kind of keep checking it out, seeing like where you need them. I think that's good. There we go. Kind of like that. So it kind of looks like that right now. And then I'm going to take, let me get this down here. I take my tweezers and I'm going to hold one of these petals because it just makes it easier. And I'm going to put some glue on it. Just a little bit. If I got too much, spread it around with the tip. And then this one, I kind of got it going this way like it fell off. And then this one, I need it to go this way. And then I'm just going to put this one like they just fell off them. I feel like I have a little glue coming out right there, and I don't want that. So let it dry, and if it feels tacky, like I said, take a little bit of this and put it in there before you definitely mail it. Okay, there we go. Stampin' Up! Used to sell these. I don't know why they don't sell them anymore because they're embossing. They still do embossing, but I think you can get them on Amazon too. So check out Amazon. If I can find one, I'll put it in the link below for you guys to get it. I really like the white in with that. I mean, I like this one too. This was with the Bumblebee and the Cinnamon Cider. So if you like this one, that's what colors I did here. And this wood paper is not sold in the 6x6 anymore. They sell it in the 12x12. Get lots of different kinds. All right. And the last thing we have to do is add our greeting. So we are going to go ahead and put this down. Let me bring this back in. And I'm going to use Cajun Craze for this. And I've got the stamp on here that says "You Are My Sunshine," or you could use "Happy Birthday" if you have a great big happy birthday stamp. Whatever you got. And then I'm just going to stamp this on our paper. Let it absorb a little bit because it is one of those full, like solid. It doesn't have like outlines and it's not real tiny, so kind of let it absorb into your paper. There we go. That came out nice. Very, very nice. Okay. And then I like to cut this out. One, it's because it's a little big and it would look kind of funky. So I'm going to cut it out. And one rule of thumb when you're cutting stuff out, move the paper and not the scissors is what they say. See, put this on here. You don't want it to hang off the end, so I kind of let it hang off this side more. So when it closes, it's like that. And you know, you're gonna have to, it closes fine, opens and closes. Looks really nice. Oh, it's so cute. I just love it. And then I went ahead and I think I put gems in your guys' kits. I did. I put some gems in here. And so the gems I used were tiny gems. Because I think that will go. They don't have Cajun Craze in this, which Stampin' Up! Needs to. So I'm just going to color 3 of them. And then I'm going to take my little thing here and I'm just going to add these throughout. Now you could put a gem on that little heart if you wanted to. I just did little ones, but maybe if you had a bigger gem or a heart gem, I just think that looks cute. They blend in a little bit in person from the camera, but in person they look really, really cute. So that is the end of this card for card number 3. I will be back in a few minutes with card number 4. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.